voting, politics and political stuff. And this is the time of year, Mike.
Vote early, vote often.
And I'm going to be politically incorrect now and talk about the Phillies.
All right.
We should be celebratory, only talking positive, everything, right? But I'm going to say it could be another 28 years before they win a title again. That's my contention.
You were sounding like some of my readers who have been emailing me for those first part of that statement.
And I've been reading a lot of this, too, on Philly.com. The reason being, I think now the ownership's got their title. They can raise ticket prices again, beer concession prices, and just live high off the hog again. They're going to be happy. I think that it took 28 years because of the poor ownership. Bill Giles was released from his position. Dave Montgomery was put in because of inept decisions. These guys are buffoons that are there. He got rid of the Latino program they had. The minor leagues are still a shambles. And I just want to bring some people back to reality that, this was the perfect storm they just had with young talent coming in here. And if they're not careful, it could be a long time again. These guys are not the Red Sox. They're not the Yankees. They're not the Cubs that I think try to win titles every year and have just been, in the case of the Cubs, very unlucky, and the Red Sox for many years unlucky as well. So I think it's very, you wrote a column about it this week, Mike. It's very pivotal what happens the next couple of years, and they just hired a new GM that I hope they give him the same leeway as they did Gillick. I just don't see it happening, or I don't know if he has the right talent evaluating skills to do what Ed Wade and what Pat Gillick did.
They might have the right player development and player acquisition people within the organization, but my sense is that Ruben Amaro Jr. is not that.
Okay.
I think he's more of a dealing with the current roster in terms of contracts kind of thing.
Numbers guy.
A numbers guy. Yeah, that kind of thing. I wonder if the Phillies are, how they're going to react to this championship in a lot of ways, because I think if you feel like this roster is just absolutely intact, is good enough to win it again, well, that doesn't work. That right. Never works. They're going to have to make some moves. I'm not excited about Ruben Amaro, but I do think it's possible that player development people will fill in around him, and they have not been a great farm system, despite the fact that they've got some very high-profile successes on their current team, Hamels, Utley, etc. But that is an issue that's going to have to be addressed.
I mean, the reason why the Mets could go out and get a Johan Santana last year is they had young players. They had a Gomez they could trade away.
And, that's a very good point. People sometimes don't understand. It's not just about developing players in your farm system that step in and play in the major league level. It's prospects have never been more valuable in the current collective bargaining agreement environment as fodder. They're almost like cash.
It's like draft picks.
Yeah,
within football or another sport, these are commodities.
It's different. This sport is different than it used to be in the financial side, the business side, and in how you build a team.
And I mentioned to you that they were 13th. I'm pretty sure on this 13th in payroll, 13th in revenue. How do you improve on that when you've had 50 sellouts? We talked a bit this Saturday night when we were working together.
It's going to be difficult for them to improve on that, and the truth is their payroll is going to have to go up. 104 million, something like that. I expect it to be in the 125, 130 million range. And you say 13th in payroll, but if they get up to 130 million, they'll be like 4th or 5th in payroll. I mean, there's a big jump there. As far as how they're going to improve revenues, I don't think there's any way they can improve revenues a whole lot. I mean, sell a lot of T-shirts, sell a lot of beer. I mean, you're selling out. They're at a high ebb, I would think, in terms of revenue.
Okay, they're going to have an arbitration case with Howard. He could go for as much as maybe $16 million. I'm now hearing out there. Cole Hamels is going to get a big contract with arbitration. We know that already. Let me ask you one free agent question. 2 free agents they've got out there: Pat Burrell, left field; Jamie Moore, the pitcher. Which one, if you had a choice to bring just one of those players back, would you bring back?
Given what they're probably going to cost, Moyer.